Now it's logged in as PS ADM2, right? Yeah. This is where you left off.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Just check if your application server is up.
Okay. So,
How would you check that?
yeah.
Do you remember the command PS admin?
Yes, admin. That's all, no?
Yeah. Yeah. Go to application server and check the status.
Application server, administrative domain, four domain status, no? Is three.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm, server status. Where it is showing it is up now. Server status.
So if you see these processes, that means
Mm-hmm.
your server is up, like it is running these
It's up.
processes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
PACP, PSRV, and other stuff. And if it is down, it would say that the domain is down, currently shut down.
Okay. So now do I do I
Yeah.
need to check the status? Other statuses? No, na client and queue.
No, server status is fine. Check the web server as well if your web server is up.
What's the command for that? Again, PSW, no?
Go to no, go back to the main menu. Yeah, queue. Yeah, here select web server.
So, maintain application server. Check. Check. Command to execute.
Ad, administer a domain. Yeah, PeopleSoft.
Mm,
Yeah, it says domain status is started.
okay, fine. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Now today we will see how to configure an application server. Okay. So
Okay.
we are going to create one more application server. So by
Hmm.
default, we got one application server, which was AppDom. But now
Okay.
we want to create one more application server.
Hmm.
Um, say if your load increases, the number of users increase. At that
Mm-hmm.
time, you'll need one more domain to handle the requests. So we are going to, create one application server domain in your VM.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to application server menu.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to
Application.
application servers. Now here you see the second option is create a
Creator of.
domain.
Hmm.
Yeah, go to second. Yeah, now it is asking for the domain to be created. So you have to give a unique name. Like it's you cannot use appdom again because there is already one domain with that name. So let's give uh, our database name, that is
CS
CS, yeah, 9 to
92
you.
123.
No, that is the password. Uh,
Okay, okay.
U032, I guess.
One second. Yes, yes. It
032.
is 0.
Yeah, enter. Now
Mm-hmm.
here there are some configuration templates. If you want it for your development purpose, you don't need a lot of PSAP, PSRV services, or you don't need a lot of integration broker services. You need a very small domain, like which will
Mm-hmm.
be used only for development. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a template, developer template, which will create a very small domain.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next level is small, then medium, then large. So
Mm-hmm.
large will have like 25 PSAP, PSRV services, then 10, 15 IB related services. So it would start a lot of services. But in our case, we just need a small domain. So let's select developer.
Yeah.
Now here it
Mm-hmm.
has given you some options that you can change.
Screen mode. Sorry.
Click
Okay.
on switch once. Click on switch, full screen mode, and then switch.
Screen mode and switch.
Yeah, but still you're not able to
Ah, yeah.
see
That just
responsive.
background is yeah
Yeah.
become black.
Okay. So could you type shift page up? Yeah. So some of the values can be changed here itself. Like if you want to change the value for PubSub servers, you can press option 1. If you want to change um, quick server, you can press 2. So what will happen is these PubSub servers, they can be either yes or no. So PubSub servers are used for integration broker for your IB, and the full form is publisher and subscriber. So it is related to application messaging integration broker. So if you want to start those services, you have to mark it yes. So if you press 1, it will toggle the switch. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
press press shift page down.
Yeah.
Yeah, type 1, enter. Now page shift. Okay, no need to page shift up. If you see now the PubSub servers are yes,
Yes.
which means it will start the IB services. Let's
Mm-hmm.
make it no. We don't want that. Let's make it no.
So
1
again,
again.
okay.
Correct. So it
Yeah,
will
it is
switch
no
to
more.
no. Right. So now we
So
want
we can.
Jolt. That is fine. We want PC debugger because it's a development environment. Event notification, we can switch it off. Press 8. It will toggle.
Mm.
Then performance collator, we are not doing performance monitoring. We can switch it off. Press 10. Analytics server also you can switch it off. 11. Yeah. Then that's it. Now you have to specify the database name. So you know that application server connects to the database. So
Mm.
we need to give the database name there,
Mm-hmm.
and it picks up that database name from a file called TNS, tnsnames.ora. We'll
Mm-hmm.
look at that file, but let's give the database name and credentials here. So if you see 17th option, which is DB name,
Yeah. Mm.
which is already CS92U032. That's correct, right?
Mm. Yes,
Database
that's
name.
correct. Yes, it is correct.
Yeah. So next is database type, which is Oracle in our case. So we will leave it as is. Press option 19, which is the user ID. So
Mm-hmm.
here we have to give an application user ID which has access to boot the application server. So in our case, it is PS. So PS
Mm.
is the ID which has permissions to boot
Also,
the application server. So we'll give PS there. Give PS
yes, caps.
in
Yeah.
caps. Yeah.
Mm.
Enter. Now
Also,
user password.
mm.
So you have to give password for PS here. Press
Mm.
20.
20.
Yeah, 20.
Mm.
Enter. Now it is asking for user password. Give the password for PS. I think it is in lowercase.
Now
Enter
it
it
is
in
in
lowercase.
uppercase. Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am
So whatever.
entering. Okay.
So you had reset it, or like did you reset it from front end?
No, no, no. I have not done anything.
So like when we checked last time, PS password was in lowercase, right?
Yes, it is in lowercase.
Okay, okay. So you have to give it in lowercase.
Okay. Same password I will again configure here for this application.
Correct.
server. Okay. So CS 92 U 123. Yeah.
Enter.
Hmm.
Yeah. Re-enter the
CS
password.
92. Yeah.
Hmm. Then comes domain ID, which you
Mm-hmm.
can leave as is. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
differentiate between the domains, you can give it some unique string, but that is optional. Like you can leave it as is. It would not create any problem. Add to path. If you have some binaries or external applications installed that you want to use in the application server, then you would modify this variable.
Oh,
Normally, you will not touch this variable, but if you have some external program which you want to call through your code, you would add that bin path here in option 22. But we will
okay.
leave it blank because we don't have any such software. Connect ID, press 23.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is our connect ID?
1 second. Let me open that. I want to switch from this.
People. Okay, I'll tell you. People is a connect ID which is used for initial connection. So let's give people
I'm
POPLE.
not able to type anything.
Okay, click again there.
Yeah.
Capture. Yeah. Now type.
Yes.
Mm. In small letters you can give it in
This is
small
a
letters.
small.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a database ID, so it does not matter if you give it in small or capital.
What is it? PEO
Now
P1E.
one second.
Oh,
It is not
sorry.
asking you for password.
Password.
So
Yeah. But I
you
have
have
to
to
give
first select
20.
24 option. Mm. Now give
PEO
PEOP1E,
E.
OP1E. Now domain connection password. So if you remember, we had given domain connection password as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can give it the same pattern, like CS92U123.
So I'm giving this in caps.
Yeah, okay. Hmm. Now
Port.
what
Mm-hmm.
is yeah. Now it is asking for JSL port. If you remember the diagram, there was a Jolt listener port on application server,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that port. So say on this machine, we already have an application server AppDom, which is using 9000 port, right?
Yes.
So we cannot reuse that port on
Port. Mm.
uh, some other domain as well. So
Yes.
we need to make sure that the ports which are given are unique. So let's change the port numbers. So
Of JSL port.
yeah, select 29
Yeah.
and give 9100.
But what if some other application using this port will not know, na? 9100. If
Correct.
some
Yeah,
application.
I'll tell you the way by which you can check if
Okay,
that
shall I
port
enter?
is. Yeah, you can press enter.
Huh.
Hmm. Now JSL port also you can change 30, make it 9110. Yeah, enter. That's it. Now click on load configuration as shown 14. So whatever changes you have made, it will write it in the configuration file and create an application server domain. Now your domain is ready. So this can be booted, but before booting, let's check if that port is occupied or not. So
Hmm.
you can press Q, come back to the main menu, like main prompt, Q, Q again. Hmm. Here, type. I'm going to ping you something. Type
Uh-huh.
that. Next
I
that.
have to come out of this actually.
Okay, I'll spell it out. Type netstat, NETSTAT together. Net,
NETSTAT. Yeah.
correct. Netstat space
Hmm.
hyphen AN together. Hyphen AN together. Enter. Press again. Type it again. Netstat.
No. Net STAT hyphen AN.
A. Right. Enter. Yeah. So it is going to list all the services which are running on all the ports on this machine. Now here you want to find if there is anything which is using 9100. Press
Mm-hmm.
upper arrow key. Go to the end. Type a space and then type a pipe symbol.
Hmm.
Now type grep, GREP, grep
Hmm.
space
Yeah.
9100. Enter.
Yeah.
So as you see, there is nothing running on 9100. Let's verify it for 9000, which our AppDOM application server is using. Okay, you don't get 9000 as well. Okay, type nets. Okay, type upper arrow key and then go to AN. Go
Hmm.
to AN. Type OP. OP as well.
ANOP.
Yeah, ANOP
Hmm.
space
Hmm.
pipe symbol grep 9000. Enter. Okay, okay. Let's check the Jolt port which is used by our current application server. Maybe we are finding the wrong port. Enter PS admin.
Hmm.
Yeah. Go to AppDOM application server. Administer AppDOM. So now you can see there are two
There are
domains
two
which are there.
domains. Hmm.
Yeah, one, and then we have to check the configuration file. So press 6, edit configuration logs files, and here I want to check the domain configuration file because there is where I would find the port information. Press 1. So it will take you to the domain configuration file in VI editor. Now I have to search for JSL, so or Jolt. Type forward slash and then type Jolt, JOLT in capital letters. Enter. So if you
9033.
see, it is using 9033. That's why we were not able to find any entry for 9000. Now to get out of this file, you have to press a colon
Colon Q
and then
and
Q
exclamation. Hmm.
exclamation, small q and exclamation.
Small Q. Hmm.
Enter. Yeah. Now Control C. You can press Control C if you want to, get out of this menu. Yeah. Now type that netstat command again with 9033. Netstat hyphen an grep pipe symbol grep. Yeah. Enter. Yeah. So as you can see, this server is listening on 9033. The last column it says listen.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the server is listening on 9033 already. So you cannot use this port once again for any of your services on the server.
So at the time of configuration, it will not tell us that whether it is already
Correct.
being used, but
Right.
we'll have to check it.
Right. Now what happens is when you configure a domain, you're not starting anything. Like you're just
Okay.
configuring it and the service is down. It is on the hard disk. As soon as you start booting the domain, it will start some services, right? It will start utilizing some ports. That's when it will conflict with the existing code.
Oh.
Let's go and try to boot our application server domain. Let's see if we have configured
Just
it
give me a
correctly.
minute, Mohan. Just
Yeah.
give me a minute. So we are again booting
Yeah, we are
application.
booting our application server, which we just created. Let's go to PS admin, go to application server that we've just created. Second option. Let's try to boot this domain.
So few values we have not configured, Mohan. So we can come back anytime and configure.
Correct.
Like
Right.
some things if
Say
we in future we would like to configure that. We
right.
can come.
So there are some parameters which, like for example, there are only three PSAP PSRV processes that are started, and you want to increase it to five. So those values can be changed in the configuration file. You can save that configuration file and boot it again. So
Okay. So then that time first we have to configure and then the next is boot. So suppose now
correct.
we can use it for to configure if we wish to change anything and then boot it.
Right. Right. And some values can be directly changed into configuration file. You don't have to go through configure this domain option. You can choose option 6, which is edit configuration files,
Mm-hmm.
and you can directly go to that domain configuration and change the values. Like the file that we
What
just
we
saw,
have done
right?
it. Yeah, just now we
Yeah.
have done it.
Yeah. So let's try to boot this domain now. Serial boot. Yeah.
So basically booting is nothing but we are starting the domain for
Correct.
use.
Right. Yeah. So now, as you can see, it is starting PSAP PSRV. PS WhatsApp, it has already started. Okay, it has successfully started one PSAP PSRV, which means that our database information and the passwords that we have entered, the user IDs, everything is correct. Let's wait for the domain to be booted completely. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
says eight
This is
processes started, which
okay.
means whatever we have configured is accurate. If there was any miss in, say, people's password, or the ID does not have access to boot the application server, this domain will not be booted. It will give some error, and you'll have to go and check the logs. Now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, now this application server is up, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to share my screen just to explain what we've
Let
done
me
till
come
now.
out of this. One second. Let me come
Yeah,
out of this. I'm not able to come out of this the screen.
type right control, press right control.
Okay. Okay. Right control.
Mm, did it not ask you anything?
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
can just, no, I guess, okay, one second. Take your mouse down to the bottom. Click on cancel here. Click on
Okay.
cancel. Take your mouse to the bottom, and here, do you have anything to minimize?
No.
No? Okay, one second. One second, let me quickly search how to get out of folder.
Escape double click I'm doing. It's not happening.
Okay,
Uh,
you have to,
it's this one. Okay. Let's click on icon to the mouse icon. Okay.
Okay. So you have to press right control key and Q.
Mm. Fine.
Right control and Q. One second.
Yeah.
This is for closing the virtual. No, click on cancel. Click on cancel. Type right control key and L.
Right. Control Q and L. Yeah.
Mm, no.
Nothing is no. Nothing.
One second. Okay. Type right control key and
Hmm.
um, capital Q. Like control shift and Q.
Yeah.
No.
This is what is coming again. Like
No. No.
closing.
Click on cancel. Okay.
This
Right
one.
control and F. Right control F. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe just note down this shortcut.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've used this virtual box.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to present my screen now. Uh, Let me know once you're able to see.
Yes, I'm able to see.
Yeah. So now what we have done is, uh, yeah, we've started one application server domain. And while configuring application server domain, you had given some database credentials and one app user credential. So,
Hmm.
which means if it started booted correctly, which means your database is up, it is functioning correctly, all the credentials that you have given are correct. So your database is up, your application server domain is up. But no one is connecting to your application server, right? There
Mm-hmm.
should
Yeah.
be one web server which should connect to your application server, right? Uh,
Yes.
which is not existing right now. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a web server which would connect to our application server, right? So we are going to create one web server domain now, which will connect to the application server we have just created. And yeah, let's do that. And after that, we will create one batch server as well from the same menu, PS admin. Like batch server and application server, they're pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
We'll configure that now. You can share your screen again. I'll stop sharing.
Not able to share.
Okay, let me make you the presenter. Yeah, done. So have you noted what all IDs you require to configure an application server?
Application server. That's done now. We have just done it.
Yeah. So have you
Only
noted the IDs that we require, like connect ID and application user ID? Uh, like what all details we put in the application server? Just note
yes.
those IDs
Yeah.
down.
Connect ID is small letter people.
People.
Password is the same. People ka
Hmm.
L is one, and
Hmm.
database is the same. What we have kept it, and password is this, and domain name we have created. So sorry,
Right.
sorry. PS
Domain connection password.
and PEPS, and then password
User
for
ID.
PS is user ID small letter CS92
U13.
U123. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go back to the virtual box.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So we'll not go full screen because it does not
Yeah.
help that much.
Help.
Yeah. Let's go to web server menu now. So you can go back. You quit. Okay, sorry. We have to go to web server. Type PS admin again and
Yeah.
go to web server.
Mm, three.
Yeah.
Create.
Click
We are
on
creating it.
create a domain. Now here you have two options. Either you can create a domain or you can replicate from an existing domain. So we are going to create it from scratch because we want to see what all values we require. But before that,
Let's see.
let's see the current configuration of our. One second. No, no, don't go to replicate domain.
Okay.
Click Q.
Okay.
Get out of this.
Yes.
Go to administer a domain. PeopleSoft. Let's see what ports are configured for this domain. Go to configure this domain. So it is using 8000. SSL port is 8443. Minimum heap size 512 max 512. That's it. Okay. Let's configure this. Click Q. Get out of this.
So here, can
Go to
I?
create a domain. Click first option. Create domain. Now we need to fill all these details for creating a web server. Now, if you see, like we have to change the values starting from the first option. Type 1. We have to give, yeah, domain name. You can give same CS92U032.
Cancel.
Yeah.
I'll just make a
No,
note
no,
of
no. 032. Not 123,
it.
032.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
Enter.
no. Two years. I just
So
make a note here.
see if you can copy this text. Do one thing. Go to your
Huh.
VirtualBox.
Yeah.
Select everything. Like scroll. Just select something. Click somewhere and drag.
Okay. Uh, click. No, no.
Yeah. Click on
Here.
capture. Now
Uh,
click somewhere and drag. Like
no,
starting from
no,
domain
I'm
name.
not able to click mouse. It's not happening.
Okay. Just click somewhere and drag randomly. See where your mouse is.
No, it's mouse is not at all.
Okay.
It's,
Okay. Better you take a screenshot if you want to.
actually, I'm not able to. Okay, I'll take on a photo. This is not happening. Mohan, sorry. I give me a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's first fill this information, then we will take a screenshot. So uh, now web server, it is WebLogic. WebLogic is a product of Oracle, so that should not be changed. Third option is root directory, which is opt Oracle. That is fine. We will not change that. Web server login ID system, that is okay. We have to specify the password for system. Click option 5. Here, just check what we had given for the first domain.
Password.
Yeah.
Let me see the file that yeah.
For system, you had given system at the rate 123 S capital. Last four through.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to give the same here. Like it's not mandatory to give the same password, but we'll keep it same.
Hmm.
Yeah. You have to type it manually.
Yeah. What? I'm not able to go back this. Why this asterisk is coming?
Sorry, click on the screen. Capture. Type something.
No.
Click once again.
The mouse is gone now.
Okay. Type something.
Okay, yeah. Then why this is not going? The first asterisk is not going.
Okay. Okay. Do one thing. Press enter. Now press enter once again.
So that is automatically is
Yeah.
coming the first.
Automatically
Okay.
it is coming. Okay. Give system at the rate 123 S capital.
Yes.
Yeah. Now next is website name. We will keep PS
Mm-hmm.
because the website name for our first domain is also PS. So we'll keep it same. Application server, we can keep it localhost. That's fine. GSL port. GSL port we had given 9100. So we will change that value. Go to option 8 and give 9100. Enter. Now HTTP port, it was
Those are, yeah.
8000 for the first domain. Let's give 8100 for the second domain. Enter. Now HTTPS port, you can give 8143.
143.
Yeah. Option 10.
Sorry.
Option 9 is already set. Yeah, you can give 81. Okay. We'll have to change the HTTP port once again to 8100.
Oh, so 9 8100.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go to option 10, give 8143. Enter.
Yeah.
Yep. Now authentication domain can be blank. Web profile, you can keep it prod. Uh, Web profile user ID PT web server. Uh, we have to give password for PT web server, which is PT web server, I guess. Right. That is what we gave, right?
Let me check. Yes, it is the same.
Yeah. Give that value here. Type something. Yeah. Yeah. Then integration gateway ID is administrator. Integration gateway password we have to set. Press 16. Give the password CS92U123 in capital. Yeah. Then applications connection. Sorry, app server connection password. Option 17. So while configuring the application server, we had given a password, right, for domain connection. The same password in capital. CS92U123 in capital.
So a domain app, we have created two app servers, no?
Yeah,
Not
correct. So now we want to connect this web server to our app server that we have created. Yeah. And then SSL key store password also you can change. press option 18 and give CS the same pattern.
CS.
Yeah.
What I have given here, I'll just check here.
And this key store password, last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. We've given all the values. Let's press C to create a domain. Before that, if you want to take a screenshot, you can take it.
Taken.
Yeah.
Again, two.
So it says that no, 1 second. It is saying that it has encountered some problem while attempting to create a domain. So we have to check the log file to see what went wrong. Um, it has given the log file path as well.
Adult. Yes.
Yeah. So let's go there and check what went wrong. Press Control C. One more time. Control C. Yeah. Go to Home PSADM2. What was that path? Can you shift
Uh,
page up
yeah.
one more time? Yeah, it
Home.
was Home PSADM2 PSFT PT861. Okay. We'll go to this path. Shift page down. Go to Home CD/Home in small letters. CD
System.
space slash home, the other slash, the other slash, and slash PSADM2.
Okay, we have to give direct everything.
Yeah, you can give till whatever you remember. You can give PSADM2. Enter.
I have taken screenshot.
Okay, okay. PSFTPT 8.61. Press enter.
Can I enter complete?
Yeah, or you can ls and yeah, that's fine. If you have the full path,
Hmm.
give the full path. Web serve. Don't type the file name. Just we need the path till the parent folder of that file.
Yes, correct.
You
It's a
can
file name. Yeah.
yeah, enter. Now type ls. Yeah. So this one PIA install CS92 install dot. So type vi
Yeah.
space PIA install. You can type tab, then capital C and tab.
Capital C in that.
Yeah. Type capital C and then type tab. Press tab button. Yeah. Enter. What does it say?
Its WebLogic installation is not correct. Please check WebLogic installation. Installer
Okay, okay.
is
Okay,
failed.
then which means
Hmm.
the WebLogic home that we have specified is not correct. So 1 second, response file. Uh, props WebLogic information is not correct. Okay, that's fine. Come out of this file.
Colon small q.
Yeah. Type ps admin. Mm, okay, or press Control C once again. Sorry, press Control C. ls. See the PIA install of the first domain. Type vi space
Hmm.
PIA install, PIA tab, then PeopleSoft tab. Enter. So here, response file.
Logic domain created successfully distilled.
Yeah, this is the first domain that was created, right?
Okay.
So
On 25th. Okay.
okay, so we had given incorrect path for WebLogic path. We'll have to correct that. Let's just note this path:
Yeah.
OPT, OPT, Oracle, PSFT, PT. This one,
PTB.
yeah. BEA.
Yeah.
Till BEA we want.
Okay. Shall I exit from here now?
Yeah, you can exit from here and go to that path once, CD slash OPT slash Oracle slash PSFT. Yeah, that's still there. Can you press enter? Press enter.
Here till BA.
Yeah, BA is also fine. Enter.
Hmm.
LS. Yeah. Do you have the WLS server folder?
Yes, it is there. Yes,
WLS
it is.
server. Okay. That is your WebLogic installation. So we have to give the path of this directory for WebLogic path. Type pwd.
Present working directory.
Yeah. So we have to type this path: opt oracle psft ptbr. Okay. Let's type ps admin. Go to web server, administer. Yeah. Uh, no, go back. Go back. We don't want to do anything with this. Create a domain. Go to create a domain and then create a domain once again. Yeah. Let's quickly enter all the values. For option 1, enter CS92U032. No, 032. Yeah. Then web server root directory. That's where we made the mistake. Choose option 3. We have to give that path till BIA.
Fine. So directly forward slash say, shall I
Yeah,
start?
correct. OPT Oracle in small letters you have to give.
Yes,
So the file names in Linux and Unix are case sensitive. So capital OPT and small OPT, they will be treated differently. PTBIA. Yeah, that's it. Enter. Then option 5, system at the rate 123 S capital. Then GSL
Four,
port, 8th option.
9, na?
Yeah, 98100. You give 8100 there, and we have to change option 8 as well, which should be 9100. That is what we've used for our new domain.
And 10 also.
HTTP port, you change it to 8143,
Hmm.
like 8143. Then option 14, PT web server in capital. Then integration gateway password 16,
Integration gateway
CS92 in capital letters.
Yes, CS92U
U 123.
123.
Yep.
Authentic
Then what else? App server connection password.
CS92 123 SSL.
Then SSL key store password.
This is also same.
Yeah.
123. Yeah.
Yeah. Press C.
Sorry.
So now our path is correct. So it is creating our web server. It will take around a minute or two.
Okay, I'll come in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So already we have created one more uh, domain,
Hmm.
right? But now we have given the same convention and created one more. Or
No.
maybe that
So the
has not
last
been
one,
created yet.
correct,
Uh,
because of the error.
correct.
Yeah. So it has been created. Let's go to now. It has been created. Uh, we want to verify if our web server is up or not. So to do that, we'll go to that domain, go to administer a domain, go to our new domain, first one, check the status, third option. So it says the domain status is stopped. Now we will try to boot this domain. Yeah. So it is now in running state. Uh, Press Control C, Control C again. Type host name space hyphen I, capital I. Enter. Yep. Use this IP address.
I think the same.
Okay. Go to your browser.
Browser, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm?
And type that IP address http colon slash slash. Yeah. The yeah that one, but with a different port number. So we had used 8100. So change it to 8100 and press enter. Yeah. So our web server is up now. It is connected to the application server we've just created. Let's um, go to that web application and try to log in. If our login is successful, that means your app server is also working fine. There is no issue.
So yesterday, like last time, what we have access with 800 is the built-in web server what they had given,
Correct. Correct.
and
Now,
an application server also. We have not configured anything that time.
correct. Right.
Now we have created one app server also. Today we have created one.
Web
Okay,
server as well.
also.
So yeah, let's try to log in here.
Hope it is correct. It's processing here.
Yeah, it is logged in, which
Hmm.
means your application server is also working fine. Your website is also up because your web server, like we've just booted the web server and we are accessing it using the new port 8100. Now I'll share my screen
Sure.
and show you like how it is set up in production. Like for example, let me know once you're able to see.
Yes, I'm in.
So for example, let's say this is your web server. This is your web server, and say it is connected to one application server, and it would be connected to one database, right? Now, say here is your user.
Mm-hmm.
He's using your web server to access the application. What if something happens to the web server and it goes down?
Mm-hmm.
Your domain is down.
Yeah.
So what would happen? He would see an error in his browser, like
Yes.
the website is down at the moment or
Mm.
something like that. Or say web server is up. He is able to see the website, but when he
Mm-hmm.
logs in, he gets an error that the application server is down at this time. So, which means that say this domain is down. So that is when it will display that message. So in production, you will not set it up like this. Like you will not just have one web server and one app server. That is now, that is like, it does not work like that. You have to make sure that your user does not see. any downtime page or any downtime message when he is accessing the application. And that kind of a that kind of an arrangement is called high availability. So you have to consider while designing your application that your application is highly available, right?
Okay.
And what that means is, like, we have created, now we have two web servers, we have two application servers, but for what? For one application only, right? One campus solution database. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the backend is same for both the application servers.
Yes.
Even though there are two domains, they are connecting to the same database. Whatever
Yes.
you see through one link, the
Mm-hmm.
same things you will be able to see from the other link. There would be no difference at all. So in production, what happens is, these components, they are multiple. Say there are two web servers, and then there are two application servers, right? And there is one database, right? So when, like, now in our case, we had started our web server on 8000
Mm-hmm.
first domain, and we had started second on 8100.
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me, is it possible for us to give two URLs to the users? Like, hey, you access the first URL. If it is down, you access the second one.
No, we
Like,
cannot.
that's not how it works. So
Yeah.
we need to give them one URL which they can access, and everything, like, if it has to be highly available, that has to be done by the infra team, the PS admins and the architects. So what happens is, in production like scenario, there is something called load balancer or reverse proxy. There is one more component basically which sits in front of this,
Mm-hmm.
say your load
Good.
balancer, which uses port 443, or say which uses port 80. We'll just uh, understand this with a simple HTTP example. So you know that the default port for HTTP is 80.
Okay.
So, and say you have assigned a DNS for this load balancer machine
Mm-hmm.
with psftcs.abc.com. Your company name is, say, ABC. So the user is always going to enter psftcs.abc.com, and in the backend, it is this load balancer is going to connect to both these web servers. Correct?
Yes.
So the task of the load balancer is that it has to check the health status of these backend servers, and whichever is up, the request should go there only. Like, if the component is down, user request should not go to that web server, right?
Yes.
So user is always going to access the site using psftcs.abc.com, but in the background, this load balancer is going to send the request to either web server 8000 or web server 8100, whichever is up. If both are up, then you have different configurations on load balancer. Say in a round robin configuration, it would send the first request to the first web server, second request to the second web server, and it will keep doing that. There are other algorithms as well. So one such example is least connection. So it will check which web server has less connections. It will send the next request to that web server. And there are various other algorithms. So based on the algorithm, load balancer is going to send the request to the web server machine which is up, like web server which is up. So what it means is, if web server 8000 is down, 8100 can take care of your user requests till you bring up 8000, right? Once 8000 is also up, both the web servers will receive the request.
Mm. Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, if the user is connected to web server 8000, the subsequent request should also go to 8000. Like, say, he's accessing the application, and
Mm-hmm.
as he clicks the buttons or as he does the transaction, multiple HTTP requests will be sent to the web server, right? All those requests should follow to 8000 only. Like, if user 1, say, let's make a copy of this. This is user 1. If his request went to 8000 first, all his subsequent requests should also go to 8000, so that there is no break in session. Like, otherwise his session would break. He will see the logout page. If the next request goes to 8100, this will not know about this user session, right? So it will show the login page to the user. That is not what we want. So what we want is, if a user is connected to 8000, all the requests should go to 8000. Now, say second user, load balancer, decides to send the request to 8100, all his subsequent requests should go to 8100. But if any of these fails, then the one which is available will take all the requests, right?
I have a question here. Like
Hmm.
there are two users. Suppose not exactly two users. I am using the browser in two different windows. Same browser basically. New
Hmm.
tab, and I'm
Right.
trying to access with a different user IDs.
So if you are using in the same browser session, it
Same
will not
browser,
allow you.
different. That's what not allowed.
Right. It will not allow you because it tracks the user IDs using something called PS token. There is a cookie which is set on the browser called PS token, which has the user ID when he logged in, when uh, his log, like when the session should expire, this token should expire, the database information, all that is there in PS token cookie, and this decides like who is logged in right now. So if you log in with another user in the same browser, this will get overwritten. PS token will get overwritten. So whichever you logged in later, say you
Mm-hmm.
used user ID 1 first and then user ID 2. So in different browsers, sorry, in different windows. So if you logged in with user ID 2 later, the session in the first window will also change to user 2. Like, if you click something there, it will act as you're logged in with user 2 there as well.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Got it, right?
generally, yeah, I got it why it is happening now. But
Hmm.
generally if I access some bank website and I open the like two users, same browser, two windows,
Hmm.
I will be able to access both the this thing. Or
Correct.
no?
Right.
That's what-
But that's the you can say limitation of PeopleSoft. It will not allow you to log in with two different IDs in the same browser, right? You can use incognito or you can use different browsers, but in the same, like, if you have two windows, you cannot access application using different IDs in the same browser.
Yeah, because sometimes I need to test three different types of user if suppose this
Hmm.
workflow is there, yeah, so approval and
Then
all
you have
those.
to,
Use three
yeah,
different browsers or incognito.
yeah, you have to use three different incognito in that case.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so now, uh, still here it is fine. How about web server? Say this web server is connected to this app server and this web server is connected to this app server. Say user got connected to 8000, his request will go through, say, let me edit this value and call it 9000, and this one as 9100.
Mhm.
The request will go to 9000. But what if this 9000 goes down? So till here it is fine. Web server was up, and as soon as this got the request, it will forward it to 9000. If this component is down, again your website is down for the user. we don't want that scenario as well. So what we do is one web server is again like, it load balances among two application servers. So what you will have is something like this. So this web 8000 connects to 9000 as well as 9100, and this 8100 connects to
Okay.
again same ulta.
So for app 9000 and application server 9100, web 800 and 81 both are load balancers. No?
Yeah,
The
correct.
act as a load balancer.
Right. So web server acts as a load balancer for both the application servers.
Okay.
It's not, yeah. So, yeah. And then the application servers, they connect to the database, right? So whichever application server the user connects to, they will end on the same database, right? So this is how it is usually set up in production, where you need highly available website, highly available application, right? And now we are going to see how this is configured. Like, we have already created two web servers. We have tested that both are up, like both are accessible on different ports. This load balancer setup, like we cannot do it. Uh, I mean, we cannot test it on your computer, but like this, this usually will be a common product across various applications in the organization. It's not that you will buy a load balancer just for PeopleSoft. So in an organization, say there are 200 websites, so they will have just one load balancer product for all 200 websites, and then you just keep on configuring any additional website on that load balancer. Like, that's how it works in a company. So, but we have these 8000 and 8100. We have these as well, and we have our database. Now what we want is, if my 9000 is down, the request should go to 9100. It should not impact the user. Like, if he is connected to 8000, still if 9000 is down, the request should go to 9100. If this is down, it should go to 9000. Or if both are up, the request should be load balanced, right? That is what we want, and
So
we
we'll
are
make
going to
it that.
do this. Yeah, we will do this configuration first and then
Hmm.
test it, right? So now you can share your screen.
Sure.
One second, I'll have to make you the presenter. Yeah, now you can share your screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
Now let's first see what happens when the application server is down. So go to our application server which we've just created, and bring it down.
Okay. So I'll just first click on one.
No,
Uh,
you have to go to PS admin
I'm sorry,
menu first.
and then one administer a domain. Then we have two domains. SPP DOM was already created and CS92U032 we have created. So we are going to bring it,
The
it
new one down. Yeah, shut down. Second option,
normal
force
shutdown.
shutdown. You can go with normal or forced. Like right now, nobody is logged in, so both options are.
Second, second one we have logged in, na? We are logged in
Yeah,
the
we are
second.
logged in, but like what happens is if you shut down normally, if some transaction is going on, it will
Mm-hmm.
wait for that transaction to complete. Our application is idle right now. Like we have not
Yes.
clicked on any button. The request, like we are not waiting for any request to be completed.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not matter if we go with normal or forced. We can go with normal. So it is going to bring all the services down. Now go back to the browser
Okay.
where you are already logged in.
Yeah.
Now click on OK.
Mm.
Now click on the tile.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah, it has
it is logged.
thrown you out of the application.
Mm.
Now put something, put the credentials, PS.
Application server is down at this
At
time.
this time. Yep. Now what we are going to do is open the 8000 link on a new tab. Enter, give PS and PS password.
Yes. Open
So
question.
what it means is our web server and application server right now they have one-to-one mapping. So
Mm.
one web server is connected to one application server. Correct?
Yes.
So now, and because of that, if the application server is down, any request going through that web server will be like user will see the downtime message.
Mm.
But we don't want the user to see this. So we are going to configure that high availability now. We're going to load balance through our web server. So let's go to our new web server,
New.
press Q. No, yeah, in the VM, Q, go to web server 3, administer the domain, CS92, and here we are going to select edit configuration files, fifth option, select, where is that? Okay, configuration dot properties is not there. Okay, press Q and press Q once again. Yeah, just note this path, PIA home path. So home
Mm-hmm.
PS ADM2 PSFT PT 8.61. We have to go to this path. You can
No.
type
That's
Control C, Control C, Control C once again. Yeah, go to that PSCFG home. Okay, type CD dollar. You don't have to type that path. Dollar PS underscore CFG underscore home. Enter. LS. Go to web server. LS. Go to our new domain. Here we need to find a configuration file called configuration.properties. So we are going to find that using a command.
mm-hmm.
Type find find space dot space hyphen name together space config star, like everything together now, config star dot prop, prop star, star. No, no, no. Don't add a dot. Prop star.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So now let me first explain this command. We want to find a file with this name, with this uh, name, like starting with config. Then there can be any character.
Yes.
Wildcard, like
Mm.
asterisk is a wildcard character.
I see that. Yes.
So for multiple characters, we use asterisk. Then dot prop, because our file name is configuration.properties. So we've just added some string of it, like substring, and then star dot prop, then star. And this dot symbol, find dot.
Mm-hmm.
Dot means current directory. So I have to start searching from current directory. So you have to specify from where you want to search, like inside which folder you want to search for this file. So we want to search for this file from our current directory, like all the subfolders in my current directory. Press enter.
That's when we are not using ls because that will be in the same folder, not subfolder.
Correct, correct. Right. So as you can see, the first
Mm-hmm.
one,
Mm-hmm.
portal.war, which is for our um, what do you say, online transactions. So we have to go to this path, go to cd space applications. No, no, not slash, just applications, app, and then tab,
Yeah.
then PEOP tab, portal, capital PO tab, web INF, capital W tab, PSFT docs, PS, enter, ls, ls config star. Yeah. So we have to modify this file. This is the main file for web server. You have your application server details here. You have your web profile. Like we had used prod web profile during our configuration. So that gets stored in this configuration file. Let's vi this file. Vi
Yeah.
on config tab. Enter. Now type slash forward slash PSSER. Enter. Yeah. Now scroll down with your arrow key. Just keep scrolling down. Scroll down. Yeah. Wait, wait. Scroll, scroll up a little. Did we? Yeah, yeah. Here only. So if you see PS server equal to localhost dot local domain 9100. Like that's our application server, right?
Correct.
So we need to add one more application server domain so that the requests get load balanced among those application servers. And to do that, we just have to add a comma. So after going there, type Shift A. Shift
Yeah.
A is for appending, appending at the end of the file. Type comma. Okay,
Mm.
you've already typed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then localhost dot local domain colon 9033. That's the jolt port of our first application server. Correct?
Jolt port. Right. Okay.
Right. So now escape key.
Yeah.
So it will come out of the insert mode. So when you are editing, you are in insert mode.
Mm-hmm.
When you are not editing, like when you are searching for something or you want to exit the file, save the file, you are in control mode. So escape, you can use escape key
Mm-hmm.
to get out of the insert mode. If you want to go again in insert mode, you have to press escape I, right? But we don't want that. Our changes are done. Let's save this file. Now type colon WQ. WQ. W is for saving the file and Q is to quit, like
Okay.
get out of the file, close the file in short. Enter. Yeah. So now let's restart this web server domain. Go to PS admin. Okay. Web server. Go to
Uh,
third option. So whichever domain's configuration file you are changing, you have to
okay.
bounce that domain.
Mm-hmm.
So before bouncing, let's go and check. Still, the application server is showing down, right? Go to the browser once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, go to the first link and
Mm-hmm.
enter something, some random character. Yeah, and type, click on sign in. Yeah, same
Yeah.
message, right? Application server is down at this time. Yep. Go back to your VM and restart that domain.
So second domain.
Select the first, no, first one.
Sorry, first one.
Yeah. So first shut it down. Second option. Click yes. Now when you shut it down,
Mm-hmm.
okay. When you shut it down,
Mm-hmm.
uh, go to the browser. Go to the browser and refresh the page.
Sorry, one second. Mm-hmm. Its application server is down at this time. 810.
Okay. Mm, mm-hmm. Okay. Let's wait for some time till the web server goes down. Go to the VM once again.
Syntax error.
Syntax error, which, okay, type Control C. Yeah. Press Q. Get out of this menu. Yeah. Type PS-EF.
Hyphen EF.
No, PS space. PS space hyphen EF. One second. You have to put grep filter as well. Put pipe symbol, grep, Java in small letters, space, pipe symbol, grep, our domain name,
Domain is
CS92032.
032.
Right. Enter. Yeah, it is still up. You do one thing, kill it. Type kill, KILL, space, hyphen 9. Hyphen 9 is for terminating the PID, space. You have to enter the PID number, process ID number. So if you
Mm-hmm.
see just next to PSADM2 in the results,
Yeah. 28743.
yeah, yep, enter that, enter. Now go to the browser, you refresh that page. So now,
Mm.
when your web server is down, you will not be able to access the website at all. Like from the browser,
Mm.
it would say that your site cannot be reached, right? But if you are seeing the login page, which means that the web server is up.
Yeah.
And if you get any error after that, that means there is some problem with the application server.
Mm.
Okay. Let's boot that domain now. PS admin, go to web servers, administer, first option, boot. So are you learning anything new? Like, do you see any benefit?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yes, yes, actually, absolutely.
So,
Yeah. I need to understand many
okay,
things actually. Just need these recordings actually, so that whenever I get time, I'll make my own
sure,
notes.
sure. So Maya can provide that.
I have asked actually,
Hmm.
Sumaya. I have asked today morning itself. I've asked. So
Okay, okay, it's in running status. Go to the browser,
it's
open a
done. It's
new
done.
tab,
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
enter the URLs with 8100, enter. Yeah, your web server is up. Click on that, you know, enter the credentials. Now, even though your 9100 is down, you were still able to access the application, which means the request went to 9033,
Yes.
right? So now your application is highly available, as in from application server's perspective, you have web server to application server is now one to many mapping. So there is one web server which connects to multiple application servers. And it's not that you can just connect to two application servers. The number can go higher. You can connect to 4, 5, 6 application servers as well.
Okay. So
So that's
what we have done is 8100 has been mapped to both application server.
correct.
But
So
then we'll
whichever,
have to 8000 also will have to map both the this thing app server.
no, not necessarily. In an in a ideal scenario, yes, you would do that. So in 8000's configuration as well, you would add both the application server details so that your 8000 link also becomes highly available at the application server level. Your 8100 also becomes highly available at the application server level. And then in front of these two web servers, you will put a reverse proxy or a load balancer so that user can be given the link of the load balancer, and your requests are then distributed among these web servers.
So load balancer also will configure all the web server ka mm,
Yeah, correct.
properties,
Now,
whatever.
so we are
Configuration.
done with the configuration. Like we have tested the functionality. I'll share my screen and try to explain you more.
Yeah.
Let me know once you're able to see.
Yes, I'm using.
Yeah, so this is what we've done in 8100. We've given the details of 9100 as well as this 9033. That
Four,
is what
four,
our port is, right?
4 3 or 3 2. I haven't opened.
Jo- So we opened the configuration for 8100
Mhm.
and we already had an entry for 9100. We
Yes.
just have added one more application server's details with and those were comma separated.
Yes.
So using comma, you can give multiple application servers, right? So now if 9100 is down, which is in our case, it is down, right? The request goes to 9033. This will handle the request. So now the request will go from the user to web server to 9033, then to database.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you can do the same configuration for 8000 as well. Open the configuration file for 8000 and add the entry for this 9100 so that this one also becomes like this would act as the load balancer for these application servers, right? And then
Yeah.
these web servers will be configured on a load balancer or a reverse proxy server as backend hosts. So this is the first backend, this is the second backend. So those will be configured on the load balancer level, and the URL for this is shared with the end user. So end user is always going to hit the reverse proxy or the load balancer, and then the request would be distributed or it will be sent on the servers which are available, right? So
Yeah.
in this way, our architecture becomes highly available. If
Okay.
something goes down, you, in short, you don't have a single point of failure. So if this goes down, this is there to take care of the request, something like that. And then there is
Mm-hmm.
uh, DR as well, like disaster recovery.
Mm-hmm.
There is a concept of disaster recovery. If say now you have these two web servers here, two application servers here, database here, and say these are there in say these are there in Hyderabad,
Mm-hmm.
and but if say something happens to the Hyderabad data center, your data should be secure, right? So
Yes.
what happens in production, you would have a replica of the same components on a different site. Say this is Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
So if had something happens to Hyderabad site, your Mumbai site can be used for the like for bringing up the application. And in this case, there is some kind of a sync which is going on between these two databases. And like it's a huge topic in itself, you know, like how to
Okay.
configure it for making it highly available. But the basic concept is this data is, one second, what's happening? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So what happens is the data is synced between these two sites
Mm-hmm.
using some technology. Oracle has different products for that as well, just for replication, like Active Data Guard, Golden Gate. There are different products. So your data is synced between two sites, and if something happens to your primary site, your disaster recovery site can be used to bring up the application. That's the
Mm-hmm.
concept of a DR, disaster recovery. And yearly once or 6 monthly once, what organizations do is they would practice this DR. Like, say, they would assume that something happened to the Hyderabad site.
Mm-hmm.
So they would deliberately bring down the services on Hyderabad, and they will bring up the services on Mumbai site, and they will test the application. This is just like fire drill which happens in the
Yeah.
organization, right? Just to test it if your fire extinguishers are working fine, if people are aware of the protocol or not, what are the steps to be followed, where should be the assembly area. So there are a series of steps that you need to perform during the drill. Similar exercise is done by the organizations where they would bring down the primary site deliberately, and they would bring up the services on the DR site, disaster recovery site, and they would test the application. This exercise is also known as DR exercise, disaster recovery exercise, which happens periodically, like depends on how critical your application is. And so 6 monthly once or yearly once, this exercise happens, and you test if your DR site is functioning properly or not, the data sync is happening properly or not, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to stop here today.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll see the process scheduler configuration, and then we'll move on to the online pages, right? The
Okay.
online configuration. So related to say process scheduler or integration broker, we'll see all of that. So tomorrow we will wrap up everything related to the server, related to the domains, and one part would still be remaining, that is Elasticsearch. That I'll see if I can show you how to set it up. We'll
Okay.
check it on your VM. If we have capacity, we will
Mm-hmm.
set up Elasticsearch as well. If not, I will set it up on my server and show you the steps.